Welcome to our day 16 of everyday streaming. Today is Friday, and we're excited to be here again as we do every single day for the past 16 days, streaming on all platforms, um, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and in a few minutes we'll be also on TikTok. As always, we answer your questions, bring the most important topics of the week, and also based on the questions that you were asking this week, it looks like the most common question that I was getting this week, which is the reason why we have the topic of this live today, is why the F4 petition for sibling category is taking forever. Um, as I mentioned in the description of this video, if you are from India, Philippines, or Mexico, you're looking at about 20 years waiting for siblings, U.S. citizen sibling petition to be reunited, which is ridiculous. And so we'll be talking about that, why it's taking so long. And those of you that are joining right now, let me know where you're from. Right now, we are still live just on YouTube, Facebook, our Facebook group, and on Instagram. And in a few minutes, we will join with our TikTok community as well. Those of you that are joining right now on YouTube, let me know where you're from. I see here, as always, you should be awarded, King. I appreciate the loyalty of being here every day. Always first and always here. We have Anshu, we've got Joanne, appreciate it. Jay, and yeah, just let me know where you're from. We've got Africa here, Ontario. Joanne is from Ontario. Nice. Ontario, California. Jamaica. Nice. Well, I mean, I'm excited that you're here on this Friday night on YouTube. So, let me know what your questions are and let's get it going. But the reason why, we are trying to attend updates from the State Department a few times a year, specifically to give our clients these updates as well. And the most recent update we got from the State Department is that, the demand for these visas, specifically in those categories, F2B, F4, a little bit of F2A. F2A is gonna be a little bit better, probably after spring. But F4, the sibling petition is really the worst, and I don't know if we're gonna see much of a movement this year. We're gonna see a little bit of movement this year, but some of you are posting here about their F2A. Mexico, yeah, Mexico is tough as well for F2A. Prunell is from California. Appreciate. So this category, the kind of backlog that was created specifically since COVID is so bad that they're just not able to provide the supply of visas. And remember that there's a limit of how many visas per category can be issued. So for the category F2, it's divided between F2A and F2B. There's only 70,000 visas in that category. And so F4, there's a limit as well on the number of visas. So as the years go by and they're not able to catch up, this backlog continues to increase. And you can see that, therefore the push was to create some kind of a temporary visa, like a V visa, where siblings of these U.S. citizens are going to be able to come to the United States and wait here instead of waiting, for years back home. And hopefully that's going to come up at some point in this proposal. But the reason why you see that huge of a backlog, specifically in the F4 category, is because, Congress has set a limit on these visas. And every year the supply is obviously limited. So people want to join on video on YouTube. I'm going to post the link. I'm sorry, I forgot to post the link. I welcome you, especially on this Friday night, to join us on video so we can ask you questions. This is the link to join on video. Just click that link and join. And if you are interested to engage with a consultation or use our services, because you're watching this live, you have the option to use this phone number right here, 619-483-4549. Take advantage of that. Send text to the team and book your consultations, specifically if you're on the live. But you can join right now if you're watching this. Use the link and join me on video, and let's have a discussion and answer some of your questions. um, so, what about spouse visas? Kenneth is asking. I mean, spouse visas. If it's a U.S. citizen spouse, there's no wait in terms of the priority date, right? The only wait that there is in terms of processing. Um, right now, I-130's average is about 16 months in most processing locations, specifically for immediate family members. For F4s and F2Bs, it's a little bit longer, probably closer to 2.5 years. Um, what email do we use to expedite the file processing? So if you want to expedite, you have to expedite with MVC. So it's MVC expedite at state.gov. That's the email. It's also on their website. Rina is asking, can a U.S. citizen who got their green card via SIGS file a waiver or do something about petitioning for their biological parent? It's very unlikely. And again, there are cases where it's possible, but typically think about it. The whole idea is that the parents kind of like abandoned you. Do you know what I mean? So it's important to look into the individual circumstances of your case and then decide accordingly if you'll qualify for that or not. But those are kind of like individual cases. All right. We've got David here, Sandra, me. Thank you guys. All right, let's get Zach. I think Zach, you were yesterday or the day before, right? You wanted to ask your second question. I remember that. Welcome. And thanks for being here again. And remind me again about the situation, and then you had another question that you wanted to ask.
Good evening, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
for giving me the chance. My second
of
question
course.
was I used to support U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and I used to work in different organizations. And um, in order to be applicable for a special immigrant visa for Afghans, you must have a recommendation and HR letter from one organization at least 1 year. And I don't meet requirement of that, but I have only 8 months to HR letter and recommendation letters.
Okay.
But I don't know what to do and how to apply if I don't. If I'm not applicable for special immigrant visa, what is the second option for me? And currently, I have refugee status in France. In order,
Yeah.
for example, if I move to the US through a travel visa or for tourist visa, or for example, if I find another way, I've already applied for humanitarian parole. I'm waiting for that
Well,
also.
that's what I was going to tell you. I was going to mention the parole, but if you already applied for parole, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best bet for somebody like you. I mean, obviously, you can try to apply for like other visas, like you said, like a work visa, or if you meet any of these requirements. But I think humanitarian is the one that most people like you will come here that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the most common way. So I guess you have to wait for the. When did you file yours?
My brother is a U.S. citizen. He did it himself for me, and
Yeah.
I attached all my documents, HR letter and recommendation letters, in order to make me applicable for a special immigrant visa. But I'm just thinking, I'm just curious about if I already have refugee status in France and I enter into US, will I apply again for refugee?
Well, once you enter the United States, it's not going to be refugee anymore. You might be able to
Mhm,
apply for asylum or any other benefits, but you need to come to the United States first, right? So we have
mhm,
to find a way to get you over here. So you already applied for the humanitarian parole. That's one way. That's a good
mhm,
way. If you don't want to wait for that, you have to try for maybe like a work visa or some other way. Do you know what I
mhm.
mean?
And if I enter into US, I have to start the asylum process again because I
Yes,
already
correct. It's a
went
whole
through
different
it.
process. The asylum is different. It's
Okay.
different than the refugee.
Because my parents will move to US soon, and it will not be able to apply for something like family reunification after, or because I
Right.
already have asylum status in France
I
in
mean,
Europe.
you could, but family reunification just takes a long time. You understand?
Hmm.
That's the only reason.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, sir.
All right. No problems. Appreciate it. So again, those cases are kind of a little bit complicated. They're also lengthy in time, specifically when you deal with the government, because with the parole cases, it's the government that is doing that. Let's see here. I'm an international student from India, OF1. My F2B green card petition was filed on August 2021. I've been in the US since. Can I expedite my green card petition? You cannot expedite because F2B visa category is not available right now. So that's the reason why you're waiting for so long. It's the same thing for F4, and the reason why we started, this whole live stream again. All right, now I'm getting messages from our TikTok community, which is we're joining them right now. So we've got a few people waiting here. We'll get Chinwe is asking EB2 and AW who can apply. So the EB2 national interest waiver is a green card for people that have exceptional ability, but they also have some kind of special, maybe a project or a thing that they're doing that will be benefiting the United States as a whole. These are self-petitions. Either you have a master degree, or even if you don't have a master degree, if you hold some other, like I said, special skill, or you've done something interesting that will benefit the United States, those applicants can apply individually. And right now is a good time to apply for NIW because we've seen quite an uptick in approvals. We've got our TikTok community just joining right now. Welcome, welcome. Let us know also where you're tuning in from today on this Friday night, which is day 16 of our 20 days everyday streaming, answering your questions, celebrating 20 years anniversary for our law firm. So we're here with you every night, including on Friday night tonight. So welcome, welcome. Thanks, Yael. Appreciate it. We've got some interesting people and special guests here, which is I appreciate all of you guys. All right, so we've got Chine is asking, can I apply? Oops, it's a follow-up, right? Can I apply for NIW after 15 years of work experience? Can I apply? Yeah, you just need 10 years. Is F4 category getting interview letters right now? I mean, it depends on your priority date. If you have a priority date that is current, then you're going to get your interview date right now. All right, let's see here. Shirzad is asking on TikTok here, does the age play a big role in EB2 and AW? I'm 21 years old and I'm fighting for EB2 and AW in the space of IT. That's actually a good question. If you're somebody who's 21 years old, you obviously don't have 10 years of experience, but you must have some other stuff. I mean, I've done the youngest NIW I've done was probably 20 years old. And this is somebody who developed an app that had a lot of users in a short amount of time. And I was able to use that experience to show that he has the exceptional ability that meets the requirements of national interest waiver. So age is not a problem. Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan is also from our team at the office, and he's on the TikTok chat, and he can help you guys sort through the questions. So Jonathan is actually part of our team, and he's in the chat helping us navigate all the questions. If I miss any questions, Jonathan will let me know. I'm a U.S. citizen, petition my husband, I-130, I-45 concurrent, but the 45 is pending. So obviously, if you file your green card I-130, 45 inside the United States, they might approve the I-130 first, but the 45 will be pending because it always takes time to adjudicate the adjustment of status. It's just normal because that takes longer. They have to do background checks and things like that. Some of you on YouTube are posting your priority dates. Like I said, priority dates, I don't control them. I'm just telling you, like, I interpret why you have to wait for so long. And the reason is because the demand for visas exceeds the supply. Every visa category has a limit, and that's why essentially you have to wait. Humanity is asking, if a person with a pending I-130 gets deported from the border, can he still enter the United States under F4 category legally, or is he banned to enter the United States? So again, who is removed, eventually you have to get some sort of a waiver based on a family. If you have a qualifying family member, you'll need to get a waiver. So the same thing in your case, because you were removed to the United States. When the time is right, you'll have to get a waiver to be able to come back to the United States. All right, we got a lot of people from New York, East Coast people, Washington D.C. What about all the Californians here? I don't see any Californians in the chat. Mari says, my residence card expired in 2019. I'm unsure if I should apply for citizenship or just renew. Honestly, you can apply for citizenship and that'll probably be cheaper for you. They won't penalize you for it. Just apply for citizenship. And also, those of you guys are watching watching this on TikTok right now, please, you can join the. Thanks, Emily. I see we have a bunch of Californians in Chicago. Those of you joining right now, if you want to join on video, just request me at the bottom and line up for the video call, and I will be getting you on the chat. And also, if you're here right now, make sure also to follow my account. If you're here for the first time, follow my account, and yeah, you can join just by requesting to join on the video. We've got Alabama here on YouTube, and the question from Mel: when will a lawyer necessary? When will a lawyer will be necessary? Been waiting for here from USCIS, waiting for 13 years. My sister is my sponsor. So again, you're waiting for 13 years because, as I mentioned before, the F4 category is currently very slow. There's no visas available to be able to give you, and that's the reason why there's a backlog. So there's nothing you can do. A lawyer cannot speed up the backlog. Once again, those of you watching on TikTok, please line up if you want to ask a question on video, and I'll take your question in a few minutes. And also, if you're here for the first time, please follow my account, and so you won't miss any of my videos. Super important. And also, if you want to get in touch with me for any of your immigration matters, the easiest thing to do is just to use the link in my bio, my TikTok bio. We created a special link specifically for the live streams, so you can just click on the link. It's very simple. It'll take you to a simple form, and then our team members will be able to coordinate the calls for you and make it simple, so you don't have to worry about waiting for our DMs to be responded. So link in my bio, do it right now. And also, if you're watching this right now, please share the live stream. Click the 3 dots at the bottom of your screen, just share it, and we'll get more people on board so we can start asking questions. And then later on, we can do a little forum where we ask questions about your experience with marriage cases today. If you have, what are the horror stories that you had with your green card interviews? We'll do a forum. I'll bring a bunch of you into the live, and we can discuss the process of the green card interview, horror stories. What are you worried about? What are you anxious about? I'll tell you some interesting stories as well. But we'll do that in about 10 minutes on TikTok. All right, so we've got, I think, JC here, who has a video question on YouTube. JC, can you hear me? And
yes, I can. Can you hear me, Jacob?
I can. What is your question? And where are you from in the US today on this Friday night?
You bet. Actually, I'm calling all the way from Brazil, just so you know.
Oh, from Brazil. Nice.
Exactly, yeah. So I have a quick question. I've been checking the USCIS status website, and apparently I've been waiting for a 601A waiver, but not the 601A, just the plain 601. And I know the 601A for unlawful presence taking 3 years or so, but the I-601 is faster than the I-601A, correct?
Yeah, it's a little bit faster, but it's still taking a while. It's taking a couple of years at least. It's not 3 years, but it's at least a couple of years.
Yeah, so the thing is, this month I'm hitting exactly the 22 and a half month threshold just in the next couple weeks. So, and the website says that this 22 and a half months is roughly the 80 percentile. Okay. So 80% of the cases are taking 22 and a half months. So if I don't hear from them, say until it hits 24 months or 26 months, do you think it would be feasible to sue them, applying for a how to call that, a
Mandamus.
writ of mandamus?
Before you sue them, what I would suggest you do is do all the inquiries you can, like file in my ombudsman office, use even congressional. Thanks, Jonathan. Use congressional. Do whatever you can to make the inquiries in the next couple of months. And if everything you've done doesn't show any results, then we can discuss maybe a mandamus, a lawsuit, to see where we stand in the process. But it's possible. But you're not there yet. Let's put it this way.
Sure. How do I go about the you said congressional means?
Yeah, congressional assistance. You can use a local congressman in the area where your spouse lives right now.
Actually, who filed for me was my older child.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. I'm your child. Wherever they live, they can contact the local congressman and then go from there.
Oh, sure. And what's your cost for, if it happens, worst case scenario, how would be your cost for a writ of mandamus, just roughly?
So why don't you send me a text to this number here, and we'll give you the full details. It depends on your case. Also, we'll give you like a little quote. Just send me a message.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's see what we have here. Shulab. Oh, thanks, Shulab. We have some of our clients here in the chat on TikTok. I appreciate you, my friend. You can join our live if you want. Curry says, is there a way around the permanent bar? Permanent bar is kind of tricky. It really depends why you got it. Very few people can get around it. There are ways, obviously there are ways, but it's not that simple. We've got here, Juicy, is published papers 10 years necessary for NIW, mental health therapist from Ireland with BSc and degree? No, you don't need published papers, because we can do that as a professional, so not as a researcher in a way. You know what I mean? So you can avoid worrying about the published papers. That's actually a really good position for NIW. So I love those cases. I'll be happy to help you. Just like I said, use the link in my bio. Mention that you were on the live, and then that you're an NIW applicant that spoke to me on the live, that asked you a question on the live, and I will be happy to structure your case as well. NIWs are in high demand. National interest waivers are self-petitions, and if you qualify for this is a great time to apply for it right now, because they're approving a lot of these cases, and people they want to do it before a new administration will change. Mia says, is there a way anyone can travel with a parole in place? It's very unlikely. Parole in place is designed to help undocumented immigrants who have a family member in the military, U.S. citizen in the military. Those cases, I do not recommend to travel. If there's an emergency, you can always get a permission to leave, but don't do that. You know what, Juicy, I understand what you're saying, but why don't you look for a second opinion, because you'll be surprised. People asking what's going on with DACA advanced paroles. They're taking a little bit longer, but they're still very good. Advanced paroles are really effective. If you have DACA, take advantage of that. Secure your legal entry. I'm going to make a video later on about the advanced parole and why you should apply for one. And I think it's really important to do it. We've got, I think Kevin is waiting here.
Hey, Jacob, how you doing, man? Good evening.
Yeah, sure, Zod. How are you, Kevin? Good to see you again.
I'm okay. Listen, so I have a friend that I'm being a co-sponsor for.
Okay.
But the thing is, he lost his passport and I-94. He told me he has a copy of it.
Okay.
But not the actual passport and the I-94.
Okay.
So can you guys still file a case like that?
So he lost his passport. He doesn't have the physical, but he has a copy, right?
Yeah, he has like a picture. That's what he said. He had a copy or something.
As long as he has a copy, I don't need his original to file his case.
Oh, okay.
I just need a copy, because we need proof that the person has a legal entry to be able to file for the green card. That's all I need. If I have that, we can do it.
Okay, so he could. I could tell him to contact your office, right?
Yeah, just tell him to, because you watch the live. Please tell him to you use this number that you see on the screen right now.
Yeah, let me screenshot.
And yeah, just screenshot it, and Yeah.
I'll give him a message. Thank you so much, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much. Let me see here. We have a lot of people that want to go on video. You can go on video, and you can do that right now. Just request to go on video, and I'll add you whenever you're ready. I'll just add you. And also, don't forget on TikTok, we have our challenge right here on top, our fire challenge, inspiring immigrants. This is all in support of immigration reform in 2024. So we're doing these challenges every day. This is for you guys to support immigration reform. So hit those. Jonathan is the first to hit. Make sure you follow what he does, and let's get this challenge completed successfully. Thanks, Shubhag. Appreciate it, guys. All right. We have a few more questions here. Iki is asking, my parents got into an accident. They were badly injured. My brother applied for a humanitarian visa for him to take care of my parents, but a few months after the application, there was no decision yet. So remember, whenever you apply for a humanitarian visa or parole or anything like that, these are all discretionary. The government doesn't have to approve it. So, you know, I would, if they denied it, the first one, you can always reapply again. We have a question for Sadani. I was deported for 5 years. Can I get my green card now? Well, if you have a way to get your green card, like a family petition, you can always apply for a waiver to come back after deportation. Again, we need more facts about these cases, and if you're willing to share them. Will humanitarian advance parole take longer from France? You know, they all kind of process similar timing, but it shouldn't take longer just because you're in a particular country. All right. We have a lot of good questions here on TikTok. Could an immigrant apply for a visa with a DUI that hasn't been taken care of in 20 years? So, I mean, it depends, because some of these DUIs, if you don't take care of them, they become warrants. And remember, the thing is this: if in most states, if you don't take care of your warrant, of your tickets, a lot of tickets, they turn into warrants. If you don't appear for your DUI hearing, it becomes a warrant. Those are worse, right? So that means that you will have issues when if you travel to the United States, if you try to apply for a green card. So take care of your issues. You know, one DUI is not going to be an issue for immigration, but if you don't take care of the DUI, it will be. You know, if you have a petty theft, take care of it. Make sure that you, you know, pay the fines and all that. But if you have multiple misdemeanors, if you have multiple of these offenses, they accumulate, and those can cause you issues when you apply for green cards in the future. So you got to be careful for multiple offenses. We've got, let's see here. We've got DJ here. So if you want to ask questions on video on TikTok as well, we're taking video on YouTube, but also on TikTok. You just line up, and I'll add you on the video, and we'll be able to. Yeah. So who do we have here? If you can put your camera and put your name, that'll be amazing.
This is Jabber.
Hey, Jabber.
Actually, I'm from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
I have a specific question for you. So I have like status from 2015.
Okay.
Based marriage, so like a benefit marriage. I have a little girl with my ex.
Okay.
When we filed for I think I can't remember, but for 2 years green card. So
you applied for the I-751.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
After I applied for that.
Yeah.
When we was together. So what happened after we separate? In this moment, you know, it's something like she put me in jail. It's like a big story, but
okay.
I just step by step, you know, for you understand what I said. So when before that 2 years expired, we filed for I-751 for remove condition, you know. So what happened? They give me extension, and this moment
right.
extension for 18 months.
Okay.
We separate, you know. So after like from 2018 to 2020, they called me for interview.
Okay.
They he asked me to bring my wife and my daughter. We was separated, so
Okay.
I do I hire a lawyer.
Okay.
And that lawyer, he wasn't like immigration lawyer, but he was working with immigration lawyers. So,
Oh, I see.
you know what I'm saying? So he asked me to not go to interview, so he make a mistake, you know.
Okay.
So when I not going to interview, what happened? And they sent me letters. They said, you see, you need to come to this interview. And he still told me, don't go
Okay.
until you divorce and finish like a story with the criminal case.
Okay.
Anyway, after he's doing anything, I had another lawyer.
Okay.
And she filed for me. She told me, no, he doing mistake. You need to go immigration.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So she filed I do another form for I-75.
Yeah, you filed that like another form, like an amendment to the 751. Okay.
Yeah, Jacob. I was worried. So what happened from December 2020?
Yeah.
So yeah, I sent the form and everything. My daughter birthday, my
Okay.
divorce, everything. So from that moment, they give me just extension.
Okay.
Like almost 4 years. So last 2 months, they give me always they give me 1 year's extension in my passport.
Yeah.
So last 2 months ago, they give me 4 years extension, and this
Okay.
don't make sense, right?
No, I'll tell you why. They gave you 4 years because this is the new law. Based on the new procedures, they extend the 751 to 4 years because it's taken right now 4 years for the government to adjudicate conditional green cards. That's why they gave it you. But what is your main question? Why did they give you for 4 years?
No, my question is if I can. I want to say something about if I can file for citizenship with 2 years.
Don't file for citizenship. In your case, I wouldn't file for citizenship, and the reason is because you have complications in your 751 with the history of your marriage. If you file for citizenship, you're going to have a citizenship case that is pending and a 751 that is pending, and it's going to create even more delay. The only people that should file for citizenship when they have a 751 that is pending is people that have no issues in their 751. It's a clean case. They're still together, but for some reason there are delays. Then they can file for citizenship, and the citizenship can actually help because it can speed up the 751. In your case, it's going to cause even more delays. So don't do it. What you have to do right now is to follow up on your 751, make sure that they approve it eventually, and then file for citizenship.
Okay.
Right?
So thank you, Jacob. And another question, please.
You can only do one question because a lot of people are waiting. But don't forget, I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll be here every day until the 6th. So come back tomorrow. You can ask it again. Appreciate it. Yeah, one question at a time. We have a lot of, and we have Rahul who is waiting on YouTube as well. And we have a lot of questions here on YouTube. We've got DC lawyer here. Lots of cool friends. So
Hi, Jacob. How are you?
Rahul, where are you from? And ask your question.
I'm currently based in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And my question is currently, I recently completed my master's and I'm on OPT right now.
Okay.
I have my employment till June. My employer is going to go for H1B lottery as well.
Okay.
But my employment is till June. But now I'm confused. What if my H1B is approved and not the status, because the status will change on October 1st.
Correct.
So once my H1B is approved, how can I keep that application active till October 1st so that if I find another employer, I could ask them to transfer it? What should I do in this situation?
So when is your OPT expires?
My OPT will expire in December this year, in 2024.
You mean at the end of the year, right?
Yes, because
Okay.
it is like just a month back.
Okay. Well, if you get your H1B, it's going to be active in October of this year.
Yes. So, but my employment will end in June.
Which employment? At the on the OPT?
Yeah, the current employer I'm working for, they are going to file for my H1B lottery. If my
Okay.
name is picked up and they continue the application for H1B
Yeah.
and it is approved, but the
Yeah.
status won't be able to change because
Yeah,
my
but remember, there's a thing called cap gap. You should be able to use the cap gap if that happens to you. So basically, if it's approved in May or April or whatever, then you'll be able to still keep your working status until October because of the cap gap. Are you familiar with the cap gap?
No, but what if I lose my employment till, before October 1st?
Oh, I see what you mean. If you lose the employment,
Yeah.
got it. Well, I mean, if you lose the employment, then you'll have to maintain your student status until the H1B is active.
Oh, so like, for example, my employment ends at the end of the June, and my H1B is approved. Can I keep that H1B active? And what if my employer is in consensus with another employer, which is going to transfer it after October 1st?
Well, like I said, it's you have to focus on one employer before October, right? Decide which one is going to be, and then that employer could be the one that you use for the cap gap, right? Because you need to have something to show that you have a job to be able to do that. Even if you don't use them after October, it's fine, just to bridge the gap those 3 months. Do you understand?
I'm sorry, no.
So, for example, you need to have at least one employer that's going to be on your horizon to be able to continue with the cap gap, right?
Okay.
If you don't have any employer, you'll have to stay on your student status until October,
Okay.
right? But if you have one job offer, you can take the I-20 and they can do what is called a cap gap, so you can continue the OPT until you have OPT right now, right?
Yes, I have.
You'll be able to continue it all the way through October because you have an H1B that was approved, but it's not active yet.
Okay.
You understand? That's what's called cap gap.
Okay. Even if I lose the employment, I
But
can use.
I was gonna say you should not. Hopefully, you wouldn't. You shouldn't lose it. You should have at least some kind of a. Even if you don't have employer, at least have some sort of prospect of employment, so they can use it for the cap gap.
Okay.
You understand?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. All right. So let's see what we have here on TikTok. We've got Miss. What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Shannon. I'm from
Shannon.
New York.
From where?
New York.
New York. Excellent. We have a lot of New Yorkers this evening. Are you able to put your video on so we can see you or no?
Unfortunately, I can't.
Okay.
Is that an issue?
No worries.
Okay.
Just ask your question and let's see what we can do.
Sure. So I recently applied for the humanitarian parole
Okay.
for my fiance as well as some of my family members back in Haiti.
Okay.
One of the applications was approved.
Okay.
I submitted the application in November for the last person.
Okay.
But the very first application was submitted in February of 2023.
Okay.
So we just hit our 1 year mark waiting. So I'm trying to figure out what would be my best course of action going forward.
So what happened with this application? It was approved, but they're not here yet?
So they only approved 1 out of 4.
What happened with the other 4? They denied them or what?
It's just pending. It just keeps saying that it's pending. And whenever I do call to ask, because I called about a week ago and I asked them, why was only 1 application approved and the others are just still pending, they told me that it was just selected at random.
Well, the issue with these paroles is that they're not very consistent, unfortunately. It's just that it's a very messy system. And I know that, some family members, they cannot just leave family members behind, which is the issue with you, right? What kind of follow-up? Just calling them? Did you use did you use your local congressman to try to put some pressure on them because like I said,
I didn't think of that.
You should do that because like I said, they are very helpful in some of these cases, specifically with humanitarian paroles. They're not helpful in any other matter, but with paroles, with a lot of refugee cases, humanitarian congressional assistance is very effective. I would do it, especially if you already have one approval, because it's much easier to link the rest of them, because there are many people who are not approved at all yet. And you have at least one family that's been approved. So I would use that to put pressure on them. Okay? Because you have to do something, because there's no reason why they wouldn't approve the other ones. So aside from them being unorganized and, so I would definitely not wait and keep following up and use whatever resource you get. Start with the congressional first. If it doesn't work, there might be other resources that you can use, but I would do this first. They've been very helpful for a lot of clients here in California as well. So I think it will work for you as well.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So much.
Good luck as well, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, these humanitarian parole cases, it just doesn't make sense why they would approve one family member and not approve the other family member. And just essentially, it's kind of like a cruel game. Like they give some people the right to move, but who's gonna leave their family members behind? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. We've got Mosh is asking, can I petition for my sister while she's in the US on a B1, B2? Well, you can, but your sister won't be able to stay here. As I mentioned in the beginning of the YouTube stream, F4 category is really much behind right now, so you're not going to be able to do that. All right, let's take another EAG. How to get on video? The link is in the comments. EAG, so that's how you're going to get on video. I came to the US on an H1B visa, currently out of status. I have pending asylum, but currently working by my employer, is willing to file for H1B. Is it a good path? If you're out of status, it's not a good path because you're gonna have to leave the country and apply for the H1B. I wouldn't do that. Kevin, child petition for a parent. What's your firm's cost? We don't talk about prices on the live stream, but you can use this number I just posted on the screen for you guys. Click that, text the number, and your questions will be answered. Just take a screenshot. Very good. Edwin has an interesting question. Met a woman who came to the United States on a B visa. If we get married after 90 days and file the AOS, she can stay in. It's probably more riskier than returning home. No, she can stay. If you file if she came on a tourist visa after 60 days, you file for her, she can stay here. It's fine. I wouldn't have her leave if she's already here, Edwin. And like I said, if you need help with your case, Edwin, do the same thing as I mentioned to the person before. Screenshot the number, use it, and mention that you were in the live and you wanted to start your green card process. And we're going to have a discussion on TikTok about marriage cases, what your experience, what are you going through right now. I'm going to add a bunch of people on the call. So if you want to join the live stream right now on TikTok and discuss marriage cases, you're planning to get married with somebody, you went through the marriage process, horror stories, what are you worried about? I'll share with you some stories as well. We'll do it right now. We'll get a bunch of you on screen and we'll talk about this. So line up at the video and let's talk about the marriage experience. If you are waiting to be on video, we're going to be talking about marriage cases at the moment. So I'm waiting for you on video. And for our YouTube's audience, it is now 45 minutes after we started our stream, and we're going to end it for Friday night on YouTube. We will be back again tomorrow. So if I missed your questions, like Andrea, when will the F1 category become current? I cannot really tell you right now, but I will be able to tell you after spring once I have the visa numbers. In any case, we'll be back tomorrow again on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So happy Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. And for TikTok, we'll be back right now with the video forum. So line up, and I want to add you on video right now. We'll get Infinity on. We'll get Carrillo. And we'll get Noe. And anybody who else wants to join the video, join right now. I'll open your videos so I can see your faces if possible. And we'll start asking you questions. So if you want to join the video discussion right now, do it right now. And you guys on YouTube, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Don't miss it, and bring your questions.